another episode of the C-List Villains Podcast. I'm your host, AJ the Comic Collector, and I'm joined with E-Man, Red, and Luke. And what are we talking about tonight? We're going to talk about entertainment news, DC and its fandom. A lot of trailers have come out. But first, we want to talk about Olivia Wilde directing a possible Spider-Woman movie. E-Man, what are your thoughts on Olivia Wilde directing a Spider-Woman movie?
I'm excited for this. I've never seen any of Olivia Wilde's movies. I've heard that she's directed a couple of pretty decent ones. And for a woman director to take over a Spider-Woman property, let's go for it. I don't know what her nerddom is like, so I'm kind of going in blind. I hope she does good. I know it's supposed to be Spider-Woman. I'm still crossing my fingers that it's Spider-Gwen, but I guess we'll see, right?
Well, with that being said, I've heard that it could be Spider-Women, where it's Gwen, Silk, and Jessica Drew. Those are all rumors, but who knows? What do you think about that, Red?
I'm just still shocked that E-Man hasn't watched any Olivia Wilde movies. I mean, Tron should be up in that list.
Wait a minute. I haven't seen any of the movies that she's directed. I've seen Tron. I've seen her in a couple of other shows. Oh, no, I love Olivia Wilde. Don't get me wrong. I've just never seen any of her directorial work. So
all right.
Let's see how it goes. I'm excited for this.
Agree.
Luke, what are your thoughts?
There's no information to go on. Obviously, Marvel Spotlight 32 has exploded. First appearance of Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman. But people, we have nothing. We have no concrete information. It could be Cindy Moon, Silk, ASM4. It could be Gwen Stacy, a.k.a. New Spider-Woman, and Edge of Spider-Verse 2. There are too many unknown variables to nail down a solid book to really hone in on. But I think they're keeping it under wraps because I don't know if they've chosen yet. I think they shop the idea of a director. They listen to fan reaction. They look at tweets. They look at Instagram hashtags. And I may even think that Olivia Wilde may not actually direct the movie. I think they're putting this out there, but I don't know if she will actually end up making it to principal photography.
That's actually the next question I want to ask you guys. Kind of leading into that, I did a little research on what she's done as far as a director. From what it seems, she's only directed one movie, and it was a drama. It got a lot of good reviews. Other than that, I'm all for taking chances on a director, but I don't know about giving Olivia Wilde a big budget movie like that. I mean, it could be a small budget. I don't know. I kind of feel as though that's quite a risk that Sony's taking. Do you guys agree with that? Red, what do you think?
I don't even remember reading in the article that Sony already has signed off on another Marvel movie. I mean, they're the ones who own the Spider-Man universe. If anything, Sony would still have to approve the actual making of the movie before they get into the character, correct?
Yeah, because Sony has the movie rights to pretty much the Spider-Verse. I think they have already signed off on Olivia Wilde being a director for a movie, but we're not sure exactly which one. However, we do know, so many variables, but we also know it will be within the Spider-Verse. And it sounds a lot like they're going to try to tackle the women portion and try to bring in Spider-Woman or Spider-Women. I'm only worried about Sony, their executives, and their involvement, because they honestly haven't proven to me that they can make a solid Marvel movie since Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire.
Last question on this subject. Do you guys have faith that Olivia Wilde can produce an entertaining Marvel movie?
I'll start. I have zero faith.
Oh, man.
I love Olivia Wilde as an actor. I think she's awesome. I think a better choice would be Catherine Bigelow. Let's get someone who has some good history, who's won an Academy Award for The Hurt Locker, of course, and can really bring this character to life in a really powerful and meaningful way. So my vote would be Catherine Bigelow. I'm worried with Olivia Wilde.
Great point. Red, what do you think? Do you put your trust in her?
Well, no. I agree with Luke. I mean, she's not quite established herself yet as a director. But there's other people in the same boat, and then they came through. As long as as long as Kevin Feige is there and Sony doesn't really get their mittens all over the production, I think she might do okay.
And E-Man, what are your thoughts?
I'm on the fence. I'm going to be honest and say I'm on the fence. Let's see how it turns out. I'm rooting for the best, don't get me wrong. I don't want her to fail. I don't want any comic book movie to fail. However, she is unproven. So we'll see what happens when she tackles this project.
I agree. I'm falling in line with E-Man. I'm on the fence. I want her to succeed, but if I was making decisions, I don't know if I would give her a chance just yet. I would wait for her to have put a couple more movies under her belt. But hey, maybe she came up with a great idea, and Marvel, Sony, they were sold on it.
She must have pitched a great idea, and honestly, I think they're hoping for a Jon Favreau Iron Man type of situation, where a newer director comes in with a newer property and produces gold for a lower amount of money.
Well,
they might not want to pay Catherine Bigelow money, but they'll pay Olivia Wilde money.
Well, Jon Favreau's already directed a few movies before Iron Man, and then on top of that, we already know that he's already been established in the fandom prior to. I've known that he's been, kind of a nerd even before making Iron Man.
Yeah, but they were lower budget movies.
They were.
Yeah.
And with Olivia Wilde being in Tron and other movies, yeah, she has her foot in there. But as far as directing, I'm not sure. But yeah, let's hope. Let's hope that because she's already been in it, that she has some experience and she's got a great vision of where she can take these properties in the future.
We're all rooting for her. None of us are rooting against her. We want her to succeed. We want it to be a good movie. I just don't know if... We just don't know. There's too many unknowns.
Exactly.
All right. Let's move right into all the DC stuff that was announced essentially a week ago. We got to see Pattinson Batman.
Wow.
Jumping right in, huh?
Exactly.
That's what you want to start with. You want to start
that
Fandome and Batman right away. You're not even... No foreplay at all, huh? Just
no,
right
let's
to
just...
That's how I like it. Wow. Double.
Show me the glitter vampire.
100. I'm all for it. I'm excited. I loved the trailer. I was for Pattinson since the beginning. I think
since the beginning. Wow. I don't know if I was for Pattinson for the beginning. I was willing to give him a chance, but this trailer, it was very good. It was very dark. Even I know it's a little weird to see him at the end where he's got like the mascara thing going on.
The Crow. He looked like the Crow.
Yeah. But you know what? I was down with it. I'm like, all right, hey, let's see where this goes. What about you, man? What are your thoughts?
You know what? It looked good. However, it also doesn't look like a different Batman movie so far. It looks like another Batman movie that we've already seen. Robert Pattinson, I was not on board. I was totally with like the other 87% of the internet who lost their minds and was like, why the vampire kid from Twilight? Apparently, he has other movies in between that pretty much prove that he should be the next Batman. Did I like the look? I like the suit. I like the Batmobile. I like the look of the villains. However, it still doesn't look unique enough as another Batman movie that we should see. I've heard that this is going to be a year 2 Batman, so that's why they chose a younger looking Bruce Wayne, which I'm all for.
I've heard it's also year 2.
I'm also worried that it's going to be another movie with the Penguin, with the Riddler, and with Catwoman. I'm hoping it does good.
It's a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, but a better version. Definitely a better version. However, it doesn't look like something that we haven't seen. Since this is going to be a movie that's going to be more towards the detective side of Batman, I'm hoping that we're going to get more of a detective noir type story rather than an action movie.
I was just thinking, what if it's just a remake of Tim Burton's Batman 2, just set grittier?
That's what I'm worried about. That's why I'm like, why did they choose these? Oh God, I'm just glad that they didn't bring in an Arnold Schwarzenegger Mr. Freeze. That's all.
I did think that, and I think
no. That was Schumacher.
I'm just saying, I don't want that.
Brad, what do you think about that trailer? Were you excited about it?
Well, it's the guy that played Cedric Diggory on Harry Potter. I mean, plus he's got another movie coming out in a couple of weeks, Tenet. He looks pretty good in there. I've heard good things about it, and definitely, there's other child actors or teeny bopper actors that came out pretty well in their adult lives. We'll give it a chance, but it seems like it looks like a big budget Gotham episode.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying with that.
I hope not. But...
Well, Gotham wasn't too bad. At least the first 2 or 3 seasons of Gotham wasn't too bad. But I see what you're saying with that one right there, Red.
So it looks like all of us are looking forward to it. However, we're all a little skeptical on if there's anything new as far as the Batman mythos, right?
Yes.
Right, but the other thing is, make sure that the WB or any of the heads of state, the Warner Brothers, don't get their mittens all over it and ruin the movie.
Again, I need to see those other Robert Pattinson movies, like The Lighthouse, I think is one that was recommended to me. That they say that, hey, look, you need to see his performance in that movie before you judge. So,
and now we can watch that movie and say Batman and the Green Goblin made a movie together.
Yeah, we can.
Who was in The Lighthouse?
The Green Goblin from Spider-Man.
Willem Dafoe?
Not
Willem
Franco.
Dafoe.
Willem.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Willem Dafoe was in The Lighthouse?
Yeah, Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson were in the Lighthouse together.
Batman and Green Goblin in one movie. Okay, there you go. There's the connection. See, now you nerds gotta go watch The Lighthouse because Green Goblin and the future Batman was in it. So we gotta give Robert Pattinson a chance. Let's check out that movie.
We're going to stick with the Batman news. Essentially, Batfleck is back. He's going to be in the next Flash movie.
Yeah,
along with
what
Michael
are they
Keaton.
doing?
They're doing the Flashpoint movie, apparently.
So we're getting Batfleck and original Keaton.
Michael Keaton?
So what's going on with that?
So here's my question for you guys. Yeah, I wanted to know, will Affleck play Batman or just Bruce Wayne? And will this lead to him doing more Batman performances? Red.
Well, it's mostly a Flash movie, so there's also Jeffrey Dean Morgan is also attached to this movie to play Bruce Wayne's father. What's his name? Thomas Wayne?
Thomas Wayne.
Yeah. So I figure he's just going to do probably a 5-minute cameo and then one scene with all 3 Batman. So with Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I look forward to that.
I look forward to that a lot. I love Morgan.
Luke, do you think that Batfleck is going to continue in more movies, or this is just a one-shot type of thing?
This has got to be a one-shot type of thing, unless I could see them, if the Snyder Cut ends up being a massive success, I could see them maybe doing another Justice League movie and asking Batfleck to be back. But it's really going to depend on how many subscribers they get to HBO Max based on this movie next summer, 2021. But I can see him actually reprising his role and continuing it and letting Pattinson kind of do his own trilogy.
I mean, with the Flashpoint movie, they're essentially saying everything counts. Everything is multiverse. I even heard that Grant Gustin's going to be in this movie. I don't know if that's for sure, but...
Oh, I think I just had a...
Nerdgasm.
I had a nerdgasm with you. I have not heard that, and I got excited.
What I saw that briefly somewhere on the internet. It could be just some sort of fan theory because what's his name? Ezra Miller? Was that his name?
Yeah,
Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller.
He was obviously in the CW Flash, so they were saying that they're going to bring in Grant into the Flashpoint movie. It's not going to be a big role, but it is going to be something to, appease fans and to, if it was to happen, it would create this giant nerdgasm, really.
I love Ezra Miller, but Grant is the Flash god, in my opinion.
E-Man, what are your thoughts, man?
At first, I was, and I talked about this on a previous podcast, I'm not happy with Ezra Miller's performance as the Flash. I don't like him as the Justice League version of the Flash. There's going to be a lot of confusion. I have a lot of family members that are asking me already about the Batman movie. Like, what's going on? Wait a minute. I thought, Ben Affleck was the Batman. What's going on? With Flashpoint coming out, it makes sense now. It's late enough in the game with DC where they need something like this to bring everything together, yet to keep everything separate. Robert Pattinson's The Batman is separate from the Justice League universe. So that's probably what's going to make that good. I like that we're going to get Michael Keaton's Batman. I love that Batfleck is coming back. And I've said it before. I think Batfleck can and has the ability to be the absolute best Bruce Wayne and Batman we've ever seen. It's just the unfortunate writing and directing of the last two movies he was in. But if anything, if you go back to those two movies, BVS, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League, Batfleck was actually one of the best parts of those movies.
Well put. Well put. I mean, he played a great Matt Murdock. That was a
Can we talk about the trailer and get away from Ben Affleck? Ben Affleck gets enough press coverage for Bat's sake. The guy's in Daily Mail every day with his new girlfriends.
Well, one last thing regarding Batfleck, to piggyback on E-Man's point, there's certain scenes when I was watching him in those movies, I'm like, dude, the guy looks like Batman. And then when he's dressed as Bruce Wayne, I'm like, the guy looks like Bruce Wayne. I mean, this was really a perfect fit.
This is coming from AJ, the comic collector, okay? He knows his comics. He knows his Batman.
Yes,
and I'm glad that he sees that point.
But is this Frank Miller's Batman?
No, it's not.
No, it's not Frank Miller's Batman. No, definitely not.
All right, so Luke touched on the Snyder Cut, and I saw the trailer. I don't know if you guys all watched it. First shot they had was Darkseid. You know what? I was watching the trailer, and I thought, this is completely different than the original trailer we were watching when it first came out. You know, I don't want to be disappointed, but I was excited to see this version of it, even though I don't know how much more different it can be, but I'm excited to see this version. All the scenes they showed were not in the original movie, so I think this is a great thing. Red, did you watch the Snyder trailer, and what are your thoughts on that? What's your reaction on that?
I know it's majority of the movie is Cyborg's
origin
intro or an origin. He plays a bigger part than just being the guy who does this and looks like, does all the stuff that Iron Man does. Yeah, he's going to have a bigger role. And then the other thing was the Darkseid versus Steppenwolf. I mean, Steppenwolf, I think, was just a bad pick as the major antagonist for that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as soon as it's done. I mean, it looks like it's just a complete revamp of the movie that Joss Whedon finished up.
E-Man, you watched the trailer, correct?
I watched the trailer, my friend.
And what are your thoughts on it?
I'm looking forward to it. I want to see, because it's going to be 4 hours long. And I'm okay with director's cuts, extended editions. I have the Lord of the Rings extended Blu-ray edition that makes each movie like 6 hours long. And I can sit through all that in one sitting.
Oh my God.
I can do it. I can totally do it because I can be engaged in that kind of a story. I can be,
and no bathroom breaks?
And no bathroom breaks. I can just watch,
Wow.
I can
I don't
do
believe
it.
that. That's 4 hours of just tough.
But also another thing that I heard is that it's very possible that it's going to be episodic, or it's going to be 4 1-hour episodes. I personally would rather have a 4-hour movie rather than 4 episodes to the Justice League. For one, for two, Steppenwolf looks so much better in this cut than he did in the last cut.
True.
I'm not a fan of how they portrayed him, like Luke said. But he looks so much better in this version than in the Snyder-Whedon version. Darkseid, though, I think they could have spent a little bit more money on making him look a little bit better.
Once they're done filming.
Once they're done filming, yeah. But I don't think Darkseid is well put together. His CGI, DC CGI, this fandom, we need to talk about that because there's CGI for a lot of their movies. We need to talk about that.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
Yes, Darkseid. However, it does look like a completely different movie. I want it to do good. I do, but it doesn't feel like the genuine Snyder cut. What I'm saying is, Snyder has had all of this time to actually work or rework the movie as opposed to releasing his original view. Now he's working on improving the movie as opposed to releasing the movie that he already had envisioned. To me, this isn't the original Snyder cut. This is a complete redo of what has already been released. But I'm looking forward to it.
Gotcha. Luke, what are your thoughts?
I am ready for it. I think we've all been ready for it for like 3 years now. And I really wish they would have done it in secret and released it. And it would have been like a tidal wave upon society. Instead, they're releasing a trailer and they're having another trailer. And then they're saying they're going to release it a year from now. And we're all just like, we've seen the movie. Just show us the cut. We're ready. If they would have done like a Beyonce, like, I recorded this album secretly, didn't tell anybody, and I just dropped it on you like a bomb. And now it's like the #1 album in the world. I would have been all for that.
Let me ask you a question, though. Do you think that would have been possible? With today's day and age, news would have been broke about that, don't you think?
Maybe, but they could have denied. And I
That's
wish
true.
It's like, okay, we're going to release it a year from now, and then a year from now, oh, we'll release it 6 months. It's not going to be next summer. It's probably going to be fall of 2021, I imagine.
I mean, if they do episodic, they could potentially do the first 2 in the summer and then drop the last 2 in the fall, right?
I can see that. I can see that.
If they're gonna milk that digital audience for the subscription, that's the best way to do it.
That is the best way to do that, actually, yeah.
I think the best way to do it would be to drop 4 different episodes, or drop it like 4 episodes, but Netflix style, drop them all at once so that you can watch it at your own pace so people can binge it. That's what people are doing.
Yeah. They're not. They're gonna drop it 1 every month. That way they
could do
prolong
that too, yeah.
the subscription.
That's a high risk because a lot of people already hate that movie. HBO needs to get people excited again.
It's all gonna be hearsay when people talked about The Mandalorian. Once the excitement got up, then people started subscribing to Disney. It's gonna be the same thing with this.
But The Mandalorian was actually good.
Well, that first episode for Justice League has to be on point.
Exactly.
That's got to be insane.
Exactly.
Well, here's the thing, all my thoughts on that. As far as HBO subscriptions, I feel as though they could lose some if Justice League isn't good. I think they focus more on the HBO side, and all the DC stuff is just a bonus for their subscriptions.
I mean, if you're a fan of Entourage and Sopranos,
Yeah.
or even the real sex series on HBO, you would be a loyal subscriber. But then, like you said, as soon as the DC content gets uploaded into their system, it's a free for all. And you're gonna get hooked or not.
Well, here's the thing. Here, to me, HBO already has other great shows outside of the DC universe. The DC universe, though, to HBO, could either be a huge hit or a huge flop. We're gonna get another Westworld next year. Watchmen was a fantastic show. They're going to do all right without the actual DC universe. They're just banking on having a huge subscription load next year when we get the Justice League movie.
And to piggyback on what you said, E-Man, I feel as though this is kind of good timing for Zack Snyder to do this revision because he's had all the years to hear about all the bad stuff that happened with this movie, and he can cut all the bad stuff out and put all the good stuff in. And hopefully, with all the years that he's had to think about this movie, it will be great. I mean, that's all we can hope for right now. All right, let's move on to the next trailer that we all watched, Wonder Woman 84. Now, I gotta say something real quick, okay? So I know that there was memes about Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, and they said it all looks like a Cats character from the Cats movie. And I'm like, I don't understand what's up with a lot of these comic fanboys. I mean, you guys complain when it's not comic book accurate, and then when it's comic book accurate, you complain that it looks cheesy. I mean, come on, guys.
It's not ILM. It's not Industrial Light and Magic making the animation.
I understand that.
Animators using their exact files for the movie. At least that's what it looks like.
I don't know. To me, it's like, let's not complain about it just yet. I think that they've got time to make revisions on that. Overall, I thought it was a really good trailer. I don't know how they're going to bring Chris Pine back in the movie, but we'll see how that goes.
Hey, they did change Sonic the Hedgehog when enough people complained.
I'll just say one thing about the animation. They could have gone 2 routes. The full cheetah, which it looks like they did, full fur Cats route. But there's also a second one, a more subtle, where just the skin changes to the cheetah pattern. and it's still smooth skin all over, and she just gets the power of the cheetah. I really feel like they should have just went that route instead of going full cat's fur.
Okay, good point. That's a very good point. It's a valid point, but I want to give it a shot. I'm curious to see her like walk around like a cheetah. You know, I really want to see that.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
This is satisfy your love for furries.
I don't know about that. But...
No, Red.
Red, bring in the comedy.
Oh God, no. Oh boy.
E-Man, what are your thoughts?
Okay, the movie itself, I'm interested. I would like to see how Patty Jenkins went ahead and brought this into the 80s. I want her to tell me another story involving Wonder Woman. I still don't know what the story and the plot is, to be perfectly honest with you, and that's actually a good thing. With it being set in the 80s, I'm assuming something around Cold War, nuclear weapons, something like that. I like how there's still a little bit of mystery. As far as how Chris Pine came into the movie, I have a theory. However, I'm not a Wonder Woman comic book reader, so I can't really elaborate. But I think he's just a figment of her imagination. I'm going to leave it at that right there.
Or the multiverse that opened up. Pattinson's Batman was also supposed to make an appearance on this movie.
Wait, what? Really?
Addison Batman?
Yeah, Pattinson's Batman was supposed to be part of the original script. I don't know if they stuck with that. Because then they would show that Princess Diana actually meet young Bruce Wayne.
Young Bruce Wayne, okay. Well, overall, I don't think the trailer made me want to see the movie even more. I'm still interested. I want to watch it.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the CGI. That looked terrible. It looked awful. I'm sorry.
I'll give you 1 minute to talk.
I hated it. There was no this is a big budget movie. They should have made her look so much better than that. I absolutely hate the cheetah look, but they could have and should have done better. This is a huge company with a lot of money, and yeah, though they don't have ILM, there's other animators that they could have brought in to make her look better. They could have made her look more like Chitara from Thundercats rather than one of the cats from the Cats movie.
You know what? I think Cats was released and then COVID happened and then they kind of all got mixed up. So they didn't get that huge reaction.
Let's just use one of their leftover designs and bring it over to one of the biggest movies of the year.
For now, as a placeholder.
Okay, so done. I'm not saying that the CGI was great on that. I know it wasn't good, but it's like, come on, guys. You guys want it comic book accurate? And then when it is, you guys complain about it. I'm like, come on.
I'm not saying it needs to be comic book accurate. I'm not going to say that with this at all. I just think it needed to look better. It's not appealing. I'm with Luke. If she had a cheetah pattern on Kristen Wiig and with a good look to her and still keep her looking like a normal human with cheetah powers, but yet some cheetah designs on her, okay, cool, but turning her full cheetah into a furry, making her look like no.
All right, we're beating a dead horse, guys.
A dead cheetah.
Done. A dead cheetah.
We're beating a dead cheetah.
Okay, done.
I guess there's 2 other new trailers. Well, I don't know if we want to call the Suicide Squad trailer, but I guess more of a sneak peek, right?
An intro. Yeah.
I'm going to just give my quick thoughts on that. Rick Flag, Boomerang, and Harley, I love that they're back. I thought that Idris was going to play Deadshot, but he's a brand new character, Bloodsport. I'm fine with that. The other colorful characters, I don't know about that. I mean, Polka Dot Man,
right?
I'm ready for Polka Dot Man.
So, Luke, you want to see all those wacky characters in there then?
What was that movie, like the superhero movie with
Mystery Men?
Mystery. I feel like it's gonna
love that movie.
I love Mystery Men, and I'm so excited for Suicide Squad. They needed to get a refresh, and I feel like this is gonna do it for them.
Someone needs to be the Pancreas. Someone has to be Mr. Furious and the Shoveler.
Thank you.
I don't know, Polka Dot Man. I don't know about that. That was just a little too much for me. But hey, it's James Gunn, and I'm sure that he's got some tricks up his sleeve to make the movie really entertaining. E-Man, what did you think about the sneak peek?
I love Harley's design. She
Yes,
reminds
yes.
me a lot of the animated version of Harley. I love Bloodsport's design, Idris Elba's character. His design's pretty dope. I'm really liking his. Everyone else seems very, very comical. This looks like the epitome of what a comic book movie should look like. I'm actually looking forward to it because of how cheesy it looks. A lot of their designs, they're ugly. I'll
Dude,
go
they
ahead
are.
and say it. They're
John
ugly.
Cena's character, I'm like, dude, what is that? all about?
Exactly. They're
bad.
ugly. However, I completely trust James Gunn in directing this movie and putting out his vision. And I also believe WB was like, whatever you want, here's a check, as many zeros as you want, make a good movie for us. So in James Gunn, I trust. As ugly as some of the designs are, I'm looking forward to a very fun-filled Suicide Squad movie.
Red, quick, your thoughts. Are you looking forward to it?
Hey, John Cena, and you have Batista on the other movie on Guardians. They're one and the same. They're both wrestlers, so they're gonna be the comedic flair. John Cena's gonna be the comedic flair of that movie, and James Gunn is just gonna follow the Guardians formula and just have all these cast of zany characters and actually have a pretty decent script.
Remember, his brother's in this movie too. Sean Gunn's playing another
Yeah.
animated character, so I'm
Nice.
looking forward to that. He killed
really
it as Rocket, so I'm assuming Sean's gonna kill it as this other character. I forgot what his name was.
It's like that cat-looking thing that licks the.
Another
Jail
rodent,
bars.
another
Yeah.
rabbit.
Yeah. Okay. I guess the last big trailer that the DC Fandom showed, and it's not really a trailer either. The Black Adam, I guess, mini cartoon intro thing. I think if there's one letdown, it was that. I would have rather have seen Chris Rock just talk about being in the movie and starring in it, as opposed to this weird like.
Not Chris Rock, The Rock.
Or who also was Chris Rock?
Wayne
It was Chris
the Rock Johnson.
Wayne
I
Johnson.
would have loved it if it was Chris Rock. Oh my god, that
Oh
would be
God!
Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I wasn't feeling this weird intro, and I'm not looking forward to this movie, to tell you the truth. Red, what do you think?
Is Zachary Levi supposed to be in it?
I don't think so.
He's the anti-hero, right? To Shazam.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be a straight Black Adam origin story, and then maybe
An appearance by Superman at the end.
or Shazam at the end. Maybe
Nice.
it'll backdate to like hundreds of years, and then at the very last 5 or 10 minutes, it goes present day.
Okay,
I'm
well,
actually most excited. I'm most excited about that property being introduced.
The way they presented it didn't
No,
change
because
sway you at all.
it's so new. It's so new. They have nothing, and it's brand new to all of us. And honestly, that excites me the most, because I hope we're going to get another Guardians of the Galaxy style movie, which blew me away. It literally was the best superhero movie I'd ever seen up until that point, for what it was, brand new. I didn't know anything about any of those characters aside from just, Rocket Raccoon. Okay, I know he's a, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because we're looking at the second tier of the hero tree, right? There's not a lot known about Black Adam. There wasn't a lot known with Guardians of the Galaxy.
I wouldn't
As
call
soon as
it
they're in the-
second tier though.
They
I mean,
100% second. You Black Adam, Hawkman. If you go to someone on the street and ask them who Hawkman is, they're gonna say who? Black Adam. They're gonna say what? But if you say Batman, Superman,
Yeah, I guess. I just maybe because we're more into we know more about comics. We don't
tier one is everybody knows about them. Tier two is only comic collectors know about
That's
them.
true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
because the Trinity is always going to be tier one. So Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. For Marvel, it's Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Thor, and Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You don't. This is another topic, but you don't put Wolverine up there.
I think
We
you were
have double
talking
Wolverine.
MCU. If we're talking movies, then no, you don't put Wolverine up there. Not with.
But do you want Wolverine as a solo, or you want Wolverine with the X-Men?
Just Wolverine in general. I mean, you don't put him top tier.
In the comics, yes. In the comics,
Yeah, comics.
he's
Yeah,
top
movies.
tier.
No.
In the movies, yeah, he's the top. He's the top of the middle tier. But again, like you said, different topic for a different,
different topic.
podcast.
E-Man, what are your thoughts on Black Adam
It
teaser, I
wasn't.
guess?
It wasn't what I thought. I think this is, and I'm hoping this is more of an introduction of what we may get because it was in animated form. I was actually expecting a live action movie. Now, I haven't heard, and I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought this was supposed to be a live action movie
It
with
is.
Zachary Levi, with the Dwayne The Rock Johnson being in the same movie.
That I don't know. I know it is a live action.
So yeah, this was a bigger disappointment to me
Yeah.
because of how it was presented to me.
Yeah. Red, were you pleased with this or not pleased?
Hey, it's The Rock, man. I've been a fan of that guy since he was Rocky Maivia. So anything that he's in, I'll watch,
All right.
flop or not.
All right, the last DC item that I wanted to bring up, and Red and I are not too much on the gaming side, so this is more of expertise with E-Man and Luke, but they did provide some new trailers for some Batman and Suicide Squad games. I saw them. I thought they were cool. I did play the Batman Arkham games, so I was pleased to see that you could be Batgirl, Nightwing, and Red Hood.
Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin.
Okay.
And that's in Gotham Knights. That game is going to be interesting because this is going to be set in a world where Batman has officially died. And there's some kind of protocol that was sent out to all of Gotham that pretty much said, hey, look, if you're watching this, it's because I'm dead. And now you guys are in charge of taking care of Gotham. And he was specifically speaking to the people that he's trained: Red Hood, Damian, who else? Barbara, whoever it is. But now he's left them in charge. The game looks fantastic. From what I saw in the trailer, PS5 and Xbox Series X have, it looks like, a fantastic game coming their way.
Is it an open world like Grand Theft Auto or?
Not sure. I can't say it is. Because you play 4 different characters, you might have an option to play 4 different characters, or you might be on side missions where you have to play certain characters in certain missions. We'll see what happens. Not enough information was given on this game at the time.
Luke, are you looking forward to the games?
I am 100% looking forward to it. I mean, everything next gen is, we can only speculate right now. I know PS5 just released their pre-order list today. So they're going to start doing a lottery type system to get in on next gen consoles. And I think any game is going to be good. Hopefully, at least it's going to look good. But gameplay and all that, we'll see in probably a couple years from now.
Suicide Squad, the other game that they talked about, Kill the Justice League. Now, that one's made by Rocksteady. That one's going to be released in 2022. That game is going to be for the people who have played all of the Arkham games like you did, AJ, because this is set in the Arkham world. This is the Suicide Squad going after the Justice League, but within the Arkham world. So if you've played Arkham Knights, this is going to be in the same world. So everything is going to look familiar and the gameplay is going to feel familiar. So it's not like you have to learn a new set of buttons. It's probably going to be updated, but it's going to feel familiar to those people who play the Arkham games.
Luke, do you plan on getting both games and playing them?
Probably I'll pick one or the other, honestly. I'll probably pick the higher, whatever one has more gameplay in it. I'm more of a quantity than quality with my gameplay. I'd rather have a longer game to play than a...
Quick little question for everyone. New Mutant's supposed to come out this weekend. Will this be a flop or will it be a success? Just flops or success for everyone. E-Man.
Flop.
Luke.
Success.
Red.
Success.
Okay. I want it to be a success, but I think it's going to be a flop. Only due to COVID. If it wasn't for COVID, I think people would come out and watch it.
I personally think that it would be more successful if they had actually released it out on video on demand, like how some of the movies are going to be doing.
Oh, it will be.
No, but this is going to the movie theaters
It's going
right
out the
now.
theaters right now.
And that's a big problem a lot of people are having with Disney, that they're releasing this movie in a movie theater during a pandemic.
That is weird.
If this had been released VOD, I think it would have been a little bit more of a success.
They're doing that with Bill and Ted. I think they should be able to do it.
They're going to do it with Bill and Ted also, where it's going straight to VOD, video on demand.
I think the reason why Marvel is just putting it out in theaters is at this point they really don't care about it. They're just like, let's just let it go, and
It's 4 years late.
yeah, let's just drop this movie and see what happens. If it makes us money, it makes us money. If it doesn't, hey, you know what? We didn't put the money to make the movie. So
According to Kevin Feige, this movie's not that bad. It's not as bad as people think it's going to be. So I think it's going to be a decent movie, but is it a flop or a success? I think it's going to be a flop box office wise.
yeah. With that being said, I think we've covered all the big entertainment news. We're gonna move right into pickups of the week, reads of the week. Red, why don't you start? Did you
Oh
pick
wow!
Up, you picked up a lot of stuff. Yeah.
You picked up the guy who didn't pick up any new books, but picked up a lot of used books from one of our co-hosts.
Why don't you give us the highlights of what you got?
I haven't.
Share what you got, because I even forgot.
I have yet to open the boxes, but I remember there's one particular one, a big ticket one. It was a signed Stan Lee Amazing Spider-Man 45.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Luke had it priced to his non-sale price for a long time, and then decided to finally sell. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna jump on this. And I think one of the other boxes will contain the Mickey Mouse.
Wait, the Marvel 1000 Mickey Mouse?
No, the other one. No, the
Delato?
The Delato. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. That I actually like that Delato cover. Now, is that just out of curiosity? Is that like a Disney what comic is that actually?
That's a Disney Comics and Stories number 13.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Luke, what'd you pick up this week?
Great week for DC. Their Batman 3 Jokers launched this week. And the only thing I can say is that it's The Killing Joke Part 2. I would title it The Better Joke. And that's actually what one of the Jokers says. They battle one of the Jokers. Spoiler alert, if anyone hasn't read it yet. One of the Jokers is battled, and there's a very shocking ending to this book. And it's actually probably one of the most shocking endings.
You can talk about it. I mean, we deal with spoilers all the time.
Hold on, wait, hold on. I think my dog's calling me. Hold on, I'll be right back. Hold on, wait.
You got to be kidding me, man! Right when I'm gonna pause.
I just picked it up today, and I was trying to read it before we started the podcast, and I just didn't have enough time. I ran out. Okay, go. Spoil it for me. I hate this part, by the way.
Jason kills one of the 3 Jokers. He shoots him, and Batgirl is not happy. Basically tells him that he's an asshole and walks off. Yeah, one of the 3, and they say, we hope we got the right one, but one of the 3 Jokers is now dead. So part number 2, Batman 3 Jokers number 2, is going to be Batman 2 Jokers.
Here's my question about this storyline right here. I know it's a continuation from The Killing Joke. Does this have any implications to the main story, to the main Batman story? Or is this continuing a different arc, a very famous arc?
From my understanding, this is canon. But the thing is, I don't know as far as the timelines if this is, I mean, I guess it has to be after the Joker War. From my understanding, this is canon. Mm-hmm. But as far as where it is in the timeline, because Joker War is going on, it's literally at the same time as we're reading 3 Jokers.
Yeah, so and that's the confusing part.
That is a very confusing part. I'm assuming Joker War comes before the 3 Jokers. That's all I can guess. Yeah.
It has to, right? Unless there's 4 Jokers, right?
Just part of the multiverse.
I mean, that's the only way really to explain it, right?
From my understanding, this is canon in the regular DC continuity.
Okay, so this has to have happened years after what's happening now, is really the only explanation.
It doesn't have to be years. It could be like right after or something.
True.
Who knows? Luke, you get anything else?
Some great variants came out this week. Strange Academy number 1, 3rd print is a new cover we're seeing from Strange Academy. It actually may be the best cover yet for Strange Academy. We have Doctor Strange with the kids. I would highly suggest picking this up. It's still attainable at cover price even today. Look for that.
I got 5 coming in, so
awesome. I picked up 3 copies. I'm good with that. Thor number 2, 4th. We're in the fourth printing of these Thors. Thor is like it's the Immortal Hulk of 2020. Thor #2, fourth printing, great cover. We have a lot of good books came out. The new Batgirl 48 came out with a beautiful cover.
I saw that one. Yeah.
Yeah, great cover on that one. Let's see what else. The new Kanto 2, The Hollow Men came out. A great one shot came out for Kanto.
I thought it was like the second season of that. It's just a one shot.
Oh no, it's not a one shot. It's the second season, but it's the number 1 for that. Kanto 2, number 1, second season. And then the new ASM came out too, Sins Rising, with a couple really nice covers. So a lot of good books this week. Batgirl, Strange Academy later printings, grab those because those are going to start disappearing. Those Strange Academies, for whatever reason, Gotham Academy never took off, but the Marvel version is taking off like gangbusters.
Was it Gotham Academy about magic though?
I don't think so. I think it was more just like a school.
Gotcha. I mean, with Gotham Academy, they've already got a fan favorite in, I think his name is Dormu, right?
Yeah, Dormu.
Yeah, he looks pretty cool. I do have to ask you, do you like that third print cover over the J. Scott Campbell Virgin cover?
I'm going to say yes, only because...
Luke's not a fan of J. Scott Campbell.
Wow.
Yeah, I jumped off the J. Scott Campbell bandwagon. I love his work. I absolutely love it. But
in case he comes on the podcast in the future,
Mr. Campbell, you are welcome anytime. I just really, really like this third printing cover. I just feel it captures the full essence of what it is, with Doctor Strange and his pupils solo on the cover. It's a great cover to pick up and really beautiful. You've got the 6 kids and Doctor Strange by themselves. Really great cover.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it is a great cover, but something about that J. Scott Campbell I really like.
I do like that cover though as well. I love Campbell's work.
I was a big fan of Campbell, but I fell off within the last couple of years just because he's putting out so many variant covers.
Plus the email spams.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of email spams. Yeah.
There's no conventions. He's got to sell.
Yeah. E-Man, what'd you pick up this week?
I didn't really pick up any of the variants myself, but I was continuing on with the Joker War stuff. So I was able to pick up Detective Comics 1026, picked up Batgirl 48. I didn't get the variant though. That variant was awesome, but I didn't have the shop owner didn't have anymore. I did, and I know you and I have something going on with this one, AJ, but I did actually purchase a 3 Jokers cover. I picked up cover A because I noticed I didn't get cover A, and I did like that cover. And then Ghost Spider number 10. I'm continuing on with Ghost Spider. Fun little story. That was a little more bubbly. Definitely going to hold on to that one for the daughter, though. And that's pretty much it. I didn't really get too much.
Nice. So I did pick up Nailbiter, and I picked up the 3 Jokers. And I got to say, 3 Jokers is those last 2 pages were amazing. The dialogue between Red Hood and Batgirl. Red Hood says, "You could have stopped me if you wanted to." And she's like, "No, I couldn't," or something to that effect. And then it's basically Red Hood stating, "When have you ever missed?" And I was like, "Oh man, you know what I'm talking about, right, Luke?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was some great storytelling. Just because, you have to know both of their backstories regarding the Joker and all the emotions both of them are going through. I was like, oh man.
This was a great issue. I'm going to read every issue probably that is put out. I'm loving it. One of the Jokers is dead. That was a really shocking ending, but I'm excited to see where they go with issue number 2.
And the other pickup I picked up was Nailbiter 4. Again, it's a book that I've been reading since day one. It's actually a really fast-paced book, and it's got a little twist at the end. I'm not going to really talk about that because there's not a lot of people reading Nailbiter, so I want to get people to read it without me spoiling it. So if you are interested in something like that, a horror action comic book, it's only on issue 4 for Nailbiter Returns. Looks like we've got some giveaways, correct?
I have a giveaway.
Oh, Luke with the weekly giveaways. This is the favorite part right here for some of our readers.
I have the
listeners, not readers.
Because I'm so excited about Batman 3 Jokers, I'm giving away the Batman 3 Jokers #1, the premium variant.
Wait, what?
The premium variant. I think this is going to be like, what's his name? I don't know what his name is. Emperor Joker or something like that with the weird red. Or is it? I don't know what his name is.
Oh.
It's an awesome cover, though. It's creepy. He's got like a weird paint can on his head. But that is the giveaway for this week.
I like that cover. I like that cover a lot, you guys.
Message me on my personal Facebook, and I will enter you to win Batman 3 Jokers #1 premium variant.
Awesome. What about you, Red? You got anything for our fans?
Yeah, I'll be doing the drawing tonight for that turtle poster. I'll alert the winners tomorrow morning.
I do have something in the works as far as a giveaway, but it's going to be an Instagram type of contest. And
oh, very cool.
Yeah, we've only got like 100 plus. So I'm like, no, we got to get more followers than that before I bust anything out.
Yes,
so.
500.
Yeah, 500.
Yeah, there you go.
Once we get 500, I will do something. Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
And followers are weird too, because I even know in the Rare Key first appearance group, we were at 500 people for a year, and then in 2 months we went from 500 to
3,600.
We're at 3,600 members in 2 months. I don't know what happened.
It's Red. Everyone's like, oh, because Luke's got a moderator.
I think it is. They want to
Red,
see a Spexy profile.
Yeah.
I love it because whenever you're doing your sales, Luke, you're doing your sales, and I see Red on the side just handling. He's your moderator. He's your voice in the chat. He does such a good job.
There's people who make comments all the time, and I can't delete them, and it's just like,
But Red does moderate the chat while you're doing your sales, and he does a pretty good job. People are asking questions, and
not just me. There's also Sam and sometimes Anthony Carter.
I love Sam. Sam's my man. He's an awesome guy. I love him. Sam, shout out to you.
And I think that's why. I think because of Red, Anthony, and Sam, that's why you went from 500 to 3,200. And hopefully the podcast will get you to like 5,000. See, everyone, get on to RKFA. Subscribe to that.
It's growing like gangbusters.
I love it.
I'm starting to deny people entry just because they didn't answer the questions. So
if
you're not reading
the question,
if you're not reading the questions, you're not going to read the rules. No entry for you.
There you go.
No soup for you.
There you go. That's if you've been denied by Red on RKFA, now you know why.
You're doing something wrong.
Go back in, redo it, answer the questions. You will be let in. He promises you.
Yes.
Reading is fundamental.
Reading is fundamental. And with that being said, guys, we're going to call it another night. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes. Thank you. Thanks again for listening to another episode of the Sealess Villains Podcast, your cultivators of the comic culture. We want to give a special shout out to JN Basement Comics. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and Spotify. All you got to do is search for Sealess Villains. If you want to send us an email, you can contact us at sealessvillains@gmail.com. And make sure you follow Luke Weeks on Facebook and Instagram, and join his Facebook group, Rare Keys and First Appearance Comics, also known as RKF Comics. I'm your host, AJ, and you can find me on Instagram, AJ the Comic Collector. Thanks, and see you next episode.